Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury 2. The rematch of the greatest heavyweight boxing match we have seen in the 21st century. How's this fight going to play out differently this time around? That's a complicated question, I believe. At first, I believe that there was nothing that Tyson Fury could do differently to change the outcome of the fight compared to the first one. And honestly, now, I still feel like the outcome will probably be the same, and I'll get to that later. But I think this fight's going to play out a lot differently than the first fight. And I didn't really see that happening if you asked me this question last week. Tyson Fury has weighed in at 281 pounds. So he's about 20 pounds heavier than he was in their first matchup 7 months ago. Usyk weighs about the same. He's at 226 pounds, so about 3 pounds heavier. So clearly Fury's game plan is going to be very similar to his game plan in the rematch against Deontay Wilder. He wants to be more physical. He wants to lean on Usyk and use his weight to make Usyk tired. To be a lot more physical, rough, and really just make this an ugly fight. Will it work? I don't think so. Tyson Fury's biggest issues are his declining reflexes and his punch resistance. 7 months ago, against Alexander Usyk, he was hit more than he's ever been hit before. Tyson Fury's been in a lot of wars. Yes, he is the winner of the trilogy with Deontay Wilder. I believe he beat him all 3 times, in fact. That being said, I think Deontay Wilder really took a lot out of Tyson Fury. And he's been off. He's gotten up off the canvas 8 times in his career, I believe. That's my count. I could be wrong. Could be more. Could be less. But I believe it's around 8. It's a lot of damage to take throughout one's career. Usyk doesn't have that issue. And the punch resistance is declining. And it's inevitable with the damage that Fury has taken throughout his career. And he's going to be slower, 20 pounds heavier. So I think he could easily get hit more often. The reflexes might even be slower. And the punch resistance might not be as good as it was 7 months ago with the damage that Usyk laid on Fury in that fight. There's a point in time in Tyson Fury's career where Alexander Usyk would not hurt him like that. I think that was a testament to not only how good Usyk is, not to take anything away from him, but how much damage Tyson Fury has taken in his career. He's been knocked down by Francis Ngannou recently. The punch resistance just is not the same. The reflexes are not the same. Think how often Usyk could just hit him with those overhand lefts. That left hand, he was just hitting him whenever he wanted to. I don't think that punch is going away. I think Usyk can disguise that shot really well for a guy as tall as Tyson Fury. I don't think he sees them coming. I don't know how he's going to go about stopping that. The key for Fury to win this fight is the jab. Usyk took that away from him in the later rounds. If you take away Tyson Fury's jab, he doesn't look all that great. He didn't look all that great in that third Deontay Wilder fight without that jab. For that first half of that fight, he looked terrible, I thought. That was one of the worst Tyson Fury performances we've seen. Then he started throwing the jab in the later rounds, and he came back, he got the job done, and he won. But if Usyk can make sure he kind of stays hidden, moves around, doesn't let Fury throw that jab as much, it's going to be a long night for Tyson Fury. He wants to get physical, he wants to get on the inside, he wants to put his weight on him. In those clinch exchanges in that first fight, Usyk did not allow Tyson Fury to get underhooks, to lean on him, to tire him out. And I don't think 20 pounds is going to change the fact that he was unable to physically impose himself on Alexander Usyk. Usyk was getting the underhooks, shoving him off. He wasn't allowing Tyson Fury to get any underhooks. And that's going to make a big difference, I think. If Usyk can keep him off of him that in a way that Wilder couldn't, it's going to be a really long night for Tyson Fury again. You take away that jab, make sure he doesn't lean on you. All easier said than done. We're going to have a firefight here in the center of the ring. Because Tyson Fury is not going to fight off his back foot, try to box this time. If he does that, about 20 pounds heavier than he did in the first fight, he's going to lose. And he does not want to lose this fight. He's going to try to press forward, be in the center of the ring. He's going to be braver. And as he does that, he's going to get caught even more. Usyk's a great counterpuncher. Usyk can change angles around him, stay in the center of the ring. And as that happens, I think Tyson Fury eventually gets stopped in the later rounds once Usyk survives an early onslaught from Tyson Fury. So I believe Alexander Usyk, late round stoppage of Tyson Fury, is going to be one of the more historic moments we've seen in boxing history. The first fight, Usyk overcame a 39-pound difference. It's insanity. It is the largest weight deficit that a fighter has overcome to become a lineal champion in 90 years since Max Baer defeated Primo Carnera for the heavyweight championship of the world. Now, it's 58 pounds that Alexander Usyk has to overcome. And I think he can do it. And I think he can stop him. Because we know now that he can hurt him. And before that first fight, that seemed impossible. But now we know he can hurt him. Fury's going to be slower. He's going to get hit more frequently. And he's going to press forward and be braver. And he's going to get caught. And Michael Moore shares this opinion. The first ever Southpaw heavyweight champion believes that this is what's going to happen in this fight. Now, my concern, which I guess would be all boxing fans' concern, is that the establishment is clearly with Tyson Fury. Turkey made that really clear in a FaceTime video that he posted on his Instagram, saying how he wants Tyson to win, how he's not going to dance around, no more dancing, he's going to stop Alexander Usyk this time. And he said it to Usyk's face. He's the promoter of this fight, right? Riyadh season. He finances this fight. This fight happens because of him. And solely because of him. And Frank Warren obviously is a huge part of this, but that's Tyson Fury's promoter and business partner. More interesting fights for money purposes happen if Tyson Fury wins. The Anthony Joshua fight. I mean, that could happen win or lose, but that's a mega event. It always has been. It always will be. It's taken way too long to happen. Daniel Dubois. Maybe that make two British heavyweights fight at Wembley in the summer for the undisputed championship. That makes a lot of money. That makes way more money than Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois did. And they made a lot of money, and they broke a record for British boxing for the highest attendance ever. Fury Dubois would break that record. They would find a way to. It feels like the cynical part of me feels like if Usyk doesn't stop Fury, they will gift Fury a decision. And I never want to think that way. No one wants to think that way. But we've been burned in boxing so many times. We were just burned with the better be of Bivol fight. That was this year. Bivol won that fight pretty clearly. You know, people really feel strongly about the Golovkin-Canelo fights, the first two. These things happen in boxing way too frequently. And that's why the UFC has been doing so much better in recent years. It's because Dana White does not allow that BS to happen. Right? The product's not better. People would much rather watch boxing or kickboxing than they would two guys grappling. 100% of the time. I think you can ask almost anybody that. Universally, that would be their response. They would rather watch boxing and kickboxing. But they've been burned so many times by that establishment. So I think Usyk is going to have to knock him out. But I don't think we are going to have that issue because I think he does knock him out. I truly believe, with almost certainty, that Alexander Usyk will defeat a declining Tyson Fury. The reflexes aren't there. The punch resistance not there. 20 pounds heavier, going to be slower. Going to get hit more often, going to be braver. This is going to be the end of Tyson Fury's boxing career. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Who do you got? Alexander Usyk or Tyson Fury? I could look like a fool in 24 hours, but I don't think so.